What's up, guys? Nate again. And today I wanted to just kind of do a little vlog. Never done this before on my channel or ever, but I kind of wanted to talk about what's going on in my life, what's been on my mind as far as collecting goes, and the kind of games I've been playing, stuff like that. So, as you may or may not know, my wife and I had a baby about 5 months ago. She's fucking awesome, but she's to a point now where she's really commanding a lot more attention, so I haven't been able to get a video out in a couple weeks, but she's been sleeping through the night now, and it's been awesome, because now I have my nights back, and my nights are like my wind down, like, do all my things time. I really need a good, like, 3-4 hours a night, or more. I'm really a night owl, so the more time I can get at night to myself, the better. But as far as my gaming time goes, it's been very limited lately, mostly to nights, and maybe a little bit during the day if my daughter's napping. But like I said, she's to an age now where she's really needy, because she's really interested in everything, so she really needs a lot of stimulation, and it's fun. It's been really fun, but has not been as easy to play games as I'd like it to be. I've been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac Rebirth on the 3DS, which I'm a huge fan of that game. The 3DS version it's really good, but there's been some really game-breaking bugs. It freezes on me like a few times a day where I have to like hard reset my system, which is really shitty. Hopefully Nicholas puts out an update to that soon, because it's really almost unplayable. I was playing last night, and I was in this like boss rush area, which is pretty hard, depending on the build you have at the time. And I was like almost through it, and my game froze, and when I restarted it, it was like back at the beginning of that floor. If you've played Isaac, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you should play it, because it's fucking fun. But I've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing a little bit of Splatoon here and there when I can, and some retro games every now and then. But really, it's been Isaac pretty much for the past 2 weeks. And I'd like to get some other games too, but I've been finding it harder and harder to get into like JRPGs and dungeon crawlers and things like that lately, because they really do demand a lot of my attention. Because I like to play at least a good 5 hours of a game when I first started JRPG, just to like really get into the meat of it. If I can't do that, it's really hard to go back and try to get into it again. So I haven't played any RPGs lately, which is really shitty, because it's one of my favorite genres. And I've got ones coming out that I want to play. I've got one behind me that I just bought. Etrian Odyssey Untold 2, which it's still sealed. I haven't had a chance to touch it. But I don't know. I guess eventually I'll have some time back to tackle those games again. And I guess at night I could too, but I've got so many other things I want to do at night. It's really hard to like devote that entire free time to just playing a single game. I've also been kind of thinking about scaling back my collection lately. I've let a few things go to a store up the street. Not games, but I've let a few toys, and I had a pretty rare Mega Man X GameCube controller that came out around the time the Mega Man Anniversary Collection came out. I guess it was the Mega Man X collection. But I got the controller for like $15 at EB, and it came in this like blue plastic bubble. I'll show a picture up here, but I've had it sitting on my shelf forever. I never really used it because it was kind of uncomfortable. But that controller was worth like close to $200, and so I traded it in to a store up the street for the Misadventures of Trombone on PS1, because I figure I'll probably play that game more than I'll use that controller. So I'm trying to make calculated decisions on things that I keep versus things I get rid of, and then maybe like getting rid of things that I don't use for things that I will use. Which doesn't really help me get rid of things so much as to like as far as like space goes, but at least it gives me some things that are going to be more useful. That being said, I do need to get rid of some things for space reasons. These shelves behind me they're full, like, and my other handheld shelf over there is full to capacity. I have no more room, so any new games I get are kind of just being stacked wherever I can fit them at this point. So I've been thinking about getting rid of some things, like maybe some of these Super Nintendo games that I have in the box that I'm never going to play, like Shaq Fu and Revolution X, and there's a handful of other ones, but it's games that I know I'll never touch. They're not great games. I like them because they're bad and they have like, I have fond memories of them, but I know I'll never play them again. And if I really want to, I can emulate them. I don't really care that much. But I'm just to a point where like I look behind me and it stresses me out a little bit. Just seeing all the shit I have back there. I'll probably always keep my NES collection. Still working on that. You know, I've got about another 100 games to go to finish that set. But I might start selling off some of my, you know, more unwanted games from other systems to maybe fund the expensive games from the NES set that I still need. But it's still, like I said, it's hard to get rid of because every game I own, I have some sort of attachment to it, even if it's something I know I'll never play. Like, let me see, for example, like Ren and Stimpy Vidya on the Super Nintendo. Like, it's not a good game. I might maybe one day break it out to play it for a few minutes, but I have fond memories of it because I played it a lot as a kid. My neighbor gave it to me when she was going to the army or something, and she gave me all her games. And so I played that game a lot, and it's not a good game. And I own it because I used to own it, but do I still need to own it? I don't know. I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to these kind of things, and nostalgia really drives my purchasing decisions, which is a dangerous thing. Nostalgia is a fucking dangerous thing for people like me who are also collectors, because most of this collection is driven by nostalgia. And companies now are getting to the point where they know how to like tug at the heartstrings of those kind of people. So there's all this new merchandise being released and shit like that. But I'm getting to a point where I'm having to like really seriously think about every purchase I make, because not only is my finances are limited and more limited than they used to be, with the baby and everything else now, but I don't know if I need all this stuff anymore. It's like I said, it stresses me out. It takes up a lot of unnecessary space. But I still love it. I still love everything in this room. But just because you love something, does that mean you have to keep it? I don't know. So yeah, that's just a little rambling. If you guys have anything that you'd like to add in the comments below about anything I've talked about, please do. If you're a parent, will I ever have time to play RPGs again? But anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for listening to this rambling video here, I guess. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Take it easy.